Welcome to A Course in Business Miracles. This is Heather Dominic, creator of businessmiracles.com and founder and leader of the highly sensitive entrepreneur movement. Join me today for some genuine practical assistance and a business-altering and life-changing experience, a business miracle. This is A Course in Business Miracles, episode number 96. HSE feature with leadership career coach Maria Kyriakos. Welcome to this Business Miracles HSE feature episode. I am just so happy to be featuring Maria Kyriakos as a member of the Business Miracles community and as a successful, highly sensitive entrepreneur and leader. Maria, along with being a valued member of the Business Miracles community, is a career leadership coach and strategic career consultant. She is an ICF credentialed coach with a successful track record of developing leadership potential domestically and globally. Industry expertise includes technology, healthcare, health insurance, and higher education. Over the course of her 25 plus years as a human resources executive, she has successfully led development and implementation of human resource programs and global leadership initiatives to enable top quality business results. She incorporates this expertise into her services. Current corporate clients include Amazon, Anthem Inc., Kaiser Permanente, and the University of Washington. Listen in as I talk with highly sensitive entrepreneur and leadership career coach Maria Kyriakos to hear how before she joined the Business Miracles community and highly sensitive leadership training programs, she was working in the corporate world and not using her highly sensitive strengths to lead. She now uses our mentoring together to not only lead, but to influence within the corporate world, and in return has seen a 50% income increase each year in her practice for the last 4 years. I am a deep admirer of Maria and so appreciate her high level of intellect that is so beautifully combined with intuition. Enjoy this conversation. I hope you do as much as I did. Maria, welcome to the Business Miracles podcast.
Heather, thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
I am so looking forward to this conversation. I have the privilege and the honor of, mentoring you quite closely. So I talk to you frequently, but I'm really just excited to have this conversation to just take a moment to pause and reflect and just look at some of the amazing things that have occurred for you as part of your business miracles and your highly sensitive entrepreneur journey. So
super excited. And it has been. It's been a phenomenal, inspiring, and really successful journey. So
let's chat it out. So you have been a member of the Business Miracles community since 2017.
Yeah.
And there's just been a lot of changes for you in that time. I'd love for you to start by sharing, just what it was like for you when you first realized and understood that you were a highly sensitive entrepreneur.
Yes. So coming from a corporate background, I was used to using my strategic thinking and business acumen skills consistently. And I leaned on my intuition and my creativity, but I'd say I didn't lead with it. And when I understood kind of what a powerhouse of enablement those skills could be, it was not only a relief, but it was energizing for me. And so in working with you, I have really, I would say, blossomed in using innovation and creativity and intuition in driving amazing business results.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love working with all of the members of the Business Miracles community, of course, but I really appreciate working with you because you are in the corporate sector. So to me, you're kind of like this highly sensitive ninja where like you get to take everything that, you learn from our mentoring together, as you so beautifully just expressed, and bring it into an environment through your clients that wouldn't necessarily be available, to receive the type of skills and talents and the unique perspective that we tend to offer as highly sensitive. So that's just one of the many things that I love about working with you. And you're so adept at really being able to partner and integrate that intellect with the intuition. That's definitely a strength that I've seen you really hone, over our years of mentoring together. And, you mentioned, really being able to also experience and see the results specifically for yourself. And so I'd love to hear a little bit more about maybe some of the structure, the tools, the trainings that have supported you specifically and the difference that this has made for you and your business.
So I'd first say that the business model and tools that you use are as impactful, and I would say more so, than any business consultant would provide, because it's based on a foundation of using your full self, right? All of your strengths. Mm-hmm. And the tools that have resonated for me are the concept of a container, which is what I provide for my clients. So it's very relevant. Mm-hmm. So a container and structure, tools like the marketing tools, numerous marketing tools, the 30-day plan, weekly priorities, a marketing wheel concept that goes from daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual. I mean, it covers all aspects. And I love the 6-month check-in planning because it's, I think, one of the hallmarks of your approach to mentoring business leaders is that we are constantly assessing, adjusting, and then executing, that it's never final, that it's always a work in progress, which allows for innovation. So that 6 month, meaning every 6 months, having the process that is so unique to you has just been, well, I mean, my business is thriving as a result of it. And I enjoy doing it. I think that's the most important thing. It's something I really,
yes.
I mean, who loves business planning? But it is crazy. It's fun, right? It's fun to engage in the strategic, intuitive, creative aspects of having a business. And you must have no less than, 60 tools. There's probably more than that. You can pick and match.
It's so true. It's so true. Yeah. I really appreciate that you mentioned that, the process of planning is fun when you are really utilizing those highly sensitive strengths, such as intuition and creativity. And I really like that you spoke to that because, I think it's definitely, really important to highlight, that you as a corporate career woman, were extremely successful. And yet you've really blossomed so much more into your own uniqueness through, the work that you're able to do as a highly sensitive who's self-employed. And I think part of that is that, again, that fun part, right, where you get to really show up using a phrase that you just used as well, your whole self. And that's, again, something that's really exciting to me when I get to see that and witness that and be a part of that, with you and for you. You've also just mentioned, that you have a thriving business. Yay!
Yay. Yeah.
Yes, which is so great because you're so good at what you do. So we want to be like having the opportunity to, do it with as many people as possible. How has your business growth specifically been impacted by, having availability to more of that whole self as you described?
Right. So I started my entrepreneurship a few years before I started working with you. And I bring that up just to say that I consulted and ran my coaching business and was not seeing the results that I'm seeing. So kind of year over year, over the past 4 years, I have been growing my practice by 50%.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Amazing, right?
Yeah. And really having fun doing it. Yeah.
That's, again, the most important part, really having fun doing it. You also mentioned innovation, and you've shared with me before about like being able to embrace experimentation and innovation in your business and what that has done for you. So I'd love for you to be able to speak about that a little bit because, one of the things that we see with highly sensitive so frequently is, because we do have the deep ability to be empathic, when that is working against us, we really also have the ability to just be able to chameleon ourselves, as I like to say, to whoever is around us, right? We can kind of like just match ourselves and do what somebody else is doing, which tends to actually not work out very well. It works out if you're kind of just looking to get by in life as a highly sensitive, but not if you're really looking to be able to have a deep, genuine, joyful experience of being your true self in the world and what you bring to the world. And that's that, again, experimentation, that's that innovation. And I would say in these exceptional times, that's needed more than ever from us as highly sensitives. So I'd love for you to speak just a little bit about what your experience has been like when it comes to embracing experimentation and innovation in your business.
And I would want to add that the philosophy and approach you use around this concept is applicable to everyone. It's certainly applicable to the highly sensitive, but all leaders, all professionals really blossom and contribute best from their authentic place. And so being able to embrace that creativity and solutioning and innovation has resulted in my developing a proprietary 3-pillar approach to helping professionals become intentional about their careers. And I love working with the leaders that I do around this concept. And with your support, I trademarked it and copyrighted it. And, I couldn't be prouder of using a model that is unique to me and my business.
Yeah, it really then differentiates you both from the role that you played within corporate, but also from other consultants, quote unquote, within the corporate sphere. It is really exciting. And I know that so much about that approach is like still being birthed and is going to really have like such a major impact for your clients, future clients, and, just within the corporate sphere of coaching in general. That's my personal opinion anyway about your pillar approach. So, along those lines, I know that you've also shared with me that one of the Business Miracles teachings that's had a specific impact for you is the work around comparison. We particularly have, a teaching that I share that's called the HSE comparison energy chart. And I'd love for you to speak, to why that tool has been an impact, again, especially because you're in a realm of corporate that can be, filled with comparison and competition. It is for for all of us, but, especially again within that sphere. So what's really stood out to you about that?
That first and foremost, it's applicable to me, and it is so applicable to my clients. And it goes back to the center and core of that teaching, and that tool is about being and embracing your essential self, your authentic self, if you will, rather than the social self. And as you mentioned, being a chameleon within a corporation or in your social circles or even with yourself, right? Not being true to yourself can derail the progress that we have and chisel away at our confidence. So using that core of essential self, and a couple of concepts that I really love and apply to my business, the first of which is the privilege of agency, and a reminder that I have the right as an entrepreneur and as a solopreneur to run my business as I see fit and to support my clients and provide the services that I felt were missing in the corporate environment, which doesn't mean that it was negative. It means that corporations are big entities and individuals benefit greatly from one-on-one support. So that privilege of agency has been phenomenal. Also the concept of assumption of positive intent, that people are well-meaning and that actions aren't necessarily negative, even if we perceive them to be. And so just assume that there's positive intent. I could go on, but those are some of the benefits.
Yeah, well, I so appreciate, you highlighting those specific points, because what all of that, really emphasizes is, when we are in training as highly sensitives who, are invested and investing in, learning how to be high functioning in the world, so that we're really coming, from that place of strength and empowerment, it does require changing our relationship with who we are and how we perceive ourselves in relationship to the world. And when you speak about privilege of agency and assumption of positive intent as part of comparison, that's really, what it's about. One of the things, I know that I like to say is, the world is not happening to you just because you're highly sensitive. It's happening for you. And what are the choices that you want to make so that you can really be creating what you've been brought here to create? So I really, appreciate that. And again, hear you speaking to the importance of making that shift. What would you say has been the most valuable part about being a member of the Business Miracles community, like being in community with other highly sensitives who, are on the same transformational course that you are, who are invested, as I said, in that training of what it means to be a high functioning, highly sensitive? What is the community aspect like for you?
So I really enjoyed not only learning from your teachings, but learning from the colleagues in the community and the breadth of professions that they come from. It inspires my creativity and kind of pushes my thinking in directions that I would not naturally go to. The opportunity to interact with them, they're like-minded, right? And they're really creative business owners. And
yes.
Although there's a lot of innovation in business, in corporations, the creativity that's not the skill that's drawn on. It's the intellect of innovation or the intellectual aspect of innovation. And yet true, really powerful innovation comes from creativity. And it's really one of the hallmark standouts of this community of professional entrepreneurs.
Gosh, that's so true. We are a super creative bunch.
Yeah.
And I always, like, when I'm talking about the highly sensitive strength of creativity, I always feel like I have to emphasize it goes
far beyond how creativity is socially seen, right? Like, we're not just talking like, oh, everyone in the community is an excellent painter or dancer, or musician. It's not that. It's exactly what you said, is how to bring creativity into innovation in business and in any way that you're meant to, be showing up and leading in the world. And it makes everything so much more exciting, back to fun as well. But I also really appreciate the mention and speaking to that by being a part of the community, you receive inspired ideas because of what others are bringing to the table that you wouldn't necessarily receive just on your own. And I think that's important to highlight, because as highly sensitives, we're so used to being the odd one out, right? Being 20% of the global population, that we can tend to isolate, and we can tend to kind of just hole up and try to do it on our own, by ourselves. And what a missed opportunity when you, on the other hand, can be a part of a creative conversation, in a like-minded community. So I really appreciate that. And on that note, what's next for you? What's next for you in your own creative innovation?
So, yeah, and you know better than anyone how much I love working with my clients. And so in my next innovation of services, I'm developing a combination online and in-person group coaching program that complements the individual programs I offer. So I'm really excited about launching those in 2021.
Yeah. You do love your clients so much. It's like your passion is so present and so grounded every time, I connect with you for private mentor call or, any other form. It's just so clear that that's, really what leads you forward. And it's, it's exciting and inspiring and impressive. So yay for more of that for Maria.
Absolutely.
I'm glad about that. Yes. And so, where can those who are listening find out more about you and, the just amazing, successful work that you are doing in the world as a highly sensitive?
So, as you know, my business is Leadership Assist. It's a career leadership coaching and consulting business. And the address is leadershipassist.com, and I would be so honored to have people visit and connect with me.
Yes. And you're also, again, being in the corporate sphere, very present on LinkedIn. So
absolutely. Thank you. And my
Maria
LinkedIn
Kyriakos?
profile, yes. Thank you for that reminder. Definitely.
Okay, good, great, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time and just sharing more about your, highly sensitive entrepreneur journey and your experience with all the business miracles that you've had for yourself over our years of mentoring together. And I just, look forward to continuing to deepen the conversation together and experience more progress as we all move forward through these exceptional times. Thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you, Heather.
All right. And everyone, thank you so much for listening. Until next time.
Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of A Course in Business Miracles. If you're ready to learn how to use your highly sensitive abilities to support you in being purposeful, profitable, and empowered rather than scattered, poor, and undervalued, take my free self-quiz to find out if you are indeed a highly sensitive entrepreneur. And if you are, along with your quiz results, you'll receive my free HSE Success Guide, which will teach you how to have your highly sensitive abilities working for you to create the results you desire in your business. Take the quiz and receive your free success guide now at www.hsequiz.com.